I'm going to go to Elizabeth Pruitt Laskin versus Charlotte McCann. Who's here on this?
I'm here, Your Honor. I'm Elizabeth Pruitt Laskin.
And this is Charlotte Lancaster McCann. Can you hear me?
Yes, I need the plaintiff to turn her video on.
I do have it on.
She is on video and also by phone, Judge. She's got 2 devices.
What's the thing?
Oh,
Can you help me with, please? I just did something crazy. Oh, doggone it.
Okay, we were here on May 10th. Plaintiff and defendant were here. I adjourned it for the defendant to send their information to the plaintiff. The information packet must be received by the plaintiff by May 17th, 2022. So to the defendant, Ms. McCann, did you send your packet to the plaintiff, Ms. Pruitt Laskin?
Yes, I did.
And when did you do that?
May 13th.
Now we need to check audio to see if you can hear them.
Do you have audio on the computer? It's muted.
We can't, no, Judge, it's not muted, but we cannot hear her.
Cannot hear. I got it.
Now she needs to dial back in by phone or something because we cannot hear her, Judge.
Dial back on the phone if you can hear me.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear the plaintiff now. It's not echoing, so I guess we're gonna have to go this way.
I muted her tablet so that it would stop the echo.
Got it.
It's up all the way.
I can hear you now.
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can?
Barely. Barely. I can barely hear you, but I can hear you. I'm having some serious problems with my tablet here, doggone it.
We muted the tablet because it was causing the echo. So the audio is going through the phone. The tablet is showing us your video.
Okay. Oh, here we are, Your Honor.
Thank you for bearing with me. I'm so sorry.
Why I'm here.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jimmy.
But we can't have 2 audios going or it'll have that echo.
Right.
All right. So look, as I recall, the plaintiff claims that I just, you were supposed to provide a list of the missing items, and I'm looking for that. Where is that?
I gave it all to you, Your Honor. Whole bunch of missing art supplies.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Did you give an itemized list to me and to Miss McCann?
Yes, I did. Certified mail.
Okay. Describe what your packet looks like, because I'm looking for it.
Okay, it's a list of a whole bunch of different types of coloring pencils and art supplies and my office chair.
No, ma'am. I've got Miss McCann's packet. It's numbered. Not really sequentially, though. I don't know. It goes page 1, page 2, page 3, 4, 5. There's a bunch of text messages. Is that right, Miss
Yes.
McCann?
Yes.
7, 8. Okay.
I also gave you copies of the stuff that we packed up that she, I guess some of the stuff that she's claimed missing, like her, it also shows pictures of everything, the way it left the house. So when she just said her office chair or whatever, that's the way it left the house. Wasn't nothing wrong with it at all. And they picked that up. And I showed you a picture of the room before she left and the picture of the room after she left.
Okay, you have another packet that has, it starts on page 1, has pictures of iced tea boxes and food,
Yes,
Mountain Dew box. And what's that?
That's all the stuff
A
that
chair.
Yep, that's all the stuff that she left at our program that was packed up and she came and picked up. I'm just trying to find the text messages right now. And she also has all this.
Okay, so all right, I think I found the plaintiff's list, missing items with receipts. There's 24 things on. So Ms. McCann, you have the list of missing, it's titled List of Missing Items with Receipts.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, 6, 7 pages, 8 pages.
Okay.
Okay. So let me just ask Ms. McCann, have you had a chance to review her list?
Yes. All that stuff is not here anymore. She picked up all that stuff. The pencils, the color and all that stuff. Nobody used that here. Nobody colors or anything. She picked up all that stuff and took it with her. All that stuff was packed up and took with her. Nobody went in that room and took anything. So I don't know why
Okay, I'm gonna swear both of you in. Raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge, understanding, and belief?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to take us back a couple of months here. Back on February 15th, both parties were here. I adjourned it to February 22nd. The plaintiff was to pick up her personal items with her husband, not going into the defendant's property. That was supposed to happen on February 18th between noon and 1, or on February 21st between noon and 1. Okay? Now, which of those days, I'm going to ask Miss Pruitt, did you go over there?
I believe it was February the 23rd, Your Honor. Because
Couldn't have
first
been the 23rd.
you gave me.
Couldn't have
you
been
gave
the
me-
23rd. It couldn't have been the 23rd.
I'm not sure what day it was. It was the last thing you told me to go there and get the stuff.
Well, wait a minute.
It was on a Monday, I believe.
All right. Well, February 22nd was a Tuesday. So maybe it was the 21st. Yeah. Plaintiff picked up property on 2/21/22. States she hasn't gone through everything. And then the defendant said she wanted to file a counterclaim. Why didn't you get all of your items on the 21st of February?
I came there and I got all my items. I brought them home and I went through my stuff and a whole bunch of my stuff was missing.
how are you able to establish that you had the items in the first place? Tell me that.
Okay, this is how I know I had all my stuff. I used to ride a truck with my husband, and I always had to keep inventory of all my personal belongings in case the truck caught on fire or something, catastrophic like that happens. I always had a list of my stuff. And I know what I had.
Wait a minute. How does that relate to this situation? You moved, this was a shelter for abused women, correct?
No, I've never been abused.
Well, why were you living there? Why weren't you living at your house?
Okay, me and my husband, we just bought this house, and we had it was a fixer upper. We had to fix things up in it. At the time, it didn't have heat running in it, so that's why I stayed there while he was on the road, because I could no longer ride the truck because of my health.
So you stayed at a woman's shelter.
Yes.
Okay. So that was nice to hear that you say you used to keep inventory. So where is the inventory list of what you kept when you moved in?
I gave it to you.
Okay, just a second. This is a list that you submitted to the court on April the 14th.
Correct.
Well, when was this inventory done?
Oh, Lord. I've had that inventory list for years.
Okay, ma'am. When was the last time you updated this list prior to
before I gave it-
moving in? Listen to the question. Prior to moving into the shelter, when did you last update this list?
A good 3 or 4 years, maybe.
So this list was updated 3 or 4 years ago?
No, I updated it before I sent it to you. That's how I had to put all my missing stuff in there.
Well, you didn't hear my question. You didn't hear my question. What I'm asking you is, when was the most recent time you updated this list prior to moving into the shelter?
I told you about 3 or 4 years ago because I've always kept inventory of all my pencils and stuff.
So are you telling me that some of these, say, adult coloring books, would you have used those? Would you have colored in them?
That's what I colored. I colored things. And when I came to
So
get
you
my
said-
stuff, my plastic.
Wait, I'm asking you a question. Just listen to the question. Are you telling me that you saved all these coloring books that you have already used?
Yes, I had them in a plastic crate.
But let's take a look at the second page. You have different pencils listed, I guess,
Yes.
by brand name, by brand name.
Yes,
Is that right?
that is correct.
Blick is a brand name.
Blick is a brand name.
Ferrande.
Cardenas Pablo
Okay.
is another name. Derwent Color Salt is another name. Faber-Castell is another name. Arrow-Jensen pencils are another. Prismacolor is another one.
So aren't you using these pencils, as you go along?
It's my hobby. That's what I do.
I understand that. But what I'm trying to get at is, if the last time you updated this list was 4 years prior to moving into the shelter, and if it's your hobby to color with these pencils and these adult coloring books, 4 years is a long time to try to vouch for the accuracy of the list. I mean, it isn't like the stuff was packed away. Wait, listen. It isn't like the stuff was packed away in storage for 4 years. You made the list, put it in a storage locker, and didn't take anything out of it for a year or two or whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what documentation do you have that this list is accurate as of the day that you moved into the shelter?
I would say 34 years prior to me moving to the shelter.
You didn't hear my question.
Oh my God.
How can you document the accuracy of this list relative to the day that you moved into the shelter? You told me the list is 4 years, was prepared 4 years before you moved in there. You're doing the coloring books all the time because it's your hobby. So how can this list be relied upon for its accuracy if it's 4 years prior to you moving into the shelter?
Because I had to keep inventory of my pencils riding in a truck.
Yeah, but you said the last time you did that was 4 years prior to moving into the shelter.
Well, I've had the
So
pencils
4
for
year
4 or
gap.
5 years.
What's that?
I've had these pencils for 4 or 5 years.
Okay. But ma'am, I had a hobby of collecting records. 45s, albums, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I never sold them or anything like that. They're in storage, okay, so to speak, and I haven't disturbed them in a couple of years, probably since before the pandemic. So if I prepared a list 3 years ago of my record collection, it's going to be accurate today because I haven't sold any of them. You're talking about something like, listen to me. Listen to me. You're talking about something like pencils and coloring books, things that you are using up as you go. So it's going to change.
I see what you're
So
saying.
I'm trying to. So how in the world can you say a list that's 4 years old is accurate at the time that you moved in?
Because I've always kept up with my stuff. If she would have moved my stuff out of the room down in the basement, we wouldn't be here today.
So you can't actually vouch for the accuracy of this list.
Yes, I can. I'm telling you, I got it right here in my hand.
Okay. Are there witnesses that can vouch for everything on this list?
Jimmy?
That's if I can talk.
My husband talked. Come over here.
That's
No.
He's my only witness I have.
Well, why would he know? How would he know how many pencils you have and what color they are?
Because he likes to watch me color when we're taking breaks off the stuff. And I do it here at the house. He knows how much I cherish my pencils.
So you want me to believe that your husband keeps track of every pencil you use when you're coloring in these adult coloring books, and he would be able to testify that the list you prepared 4 years ago is accurate on the day that you moved into the shelter. Is that what you're going to tell me he's going to say?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
it's the truth.
All right. Sure. Turn the camera over there. I'm going to put him under oath.
Can
I
my
don't
husband
hear him. I
talk
don't
to
see him.
you?
Where is he?
Right here. Come over here, Jimmy.
Yeah. Get him in the view of the camera there.
Your Honor, she had not gone
No,
to
hold it. I didn't say for you to just talk. I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to put you under oath. Raise your right hand to be sworn and move a little closer to your wife because I can't see you. There you go. Raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth to the best of your knowledge, understanding, and belief?
Yes,
What is your name?
James Laskin.
Mhm. And Miss Pruitt is your wife?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So she says that you are familiar with her art pencils and coloring books. Is that true?
I'm familiar with what she does with them. I did not take inventory. What I do know, if I may say it, is she's had them about 4.5, 5 years. She's not reordered any one of them because with so many, and it's not like coloring with the crayon wears down fast. Okay, it's a tick, tick, tick. So they don't go. She doesn't go through a pencil when she uses it. It lasts a long time. Okay. Now, what she's not remembering to tell you is when we got the stuff back here and she went through it, she realized things were missing. She got on the internet, got on the phone to these companies, and they sent her a list in the colors of the pencil. That's how she went through it and identified each one that was missing. Now, she's had chemotherapy. You got to take that in mind. And she's in pain over her backbone.
My neck's screwed up.
Her discs are messed up. She's in pain 24/7.
You're going kind of beyond you're really kind
I'm
of
just
going
explaining
beyond
you
the scope of my
Her
question.
thinking's not straight, but it's accurate what she's saying about the pencils.
Very accurate. I'm
She
telling
got
you
on the
the
phone
How
with
would
truth.
these
you know
companies
that, sir? How would you know that, sir?
because I watched her get on the phone, the internet, and I watched the list.
I'm not talking about her trying to reconstruct the list after the fact. I'm talking about how can you vouch for the list as being accurate on the day that she moved into the shelter?
It's right here.
No, that I cannot. But they were taken from
Okay.
a secured room to unsecurement, and there was a thief there.
But that's not okay. What was the circumstances to your understanding of how she ended up in the shelter?
Her body is not in good shape. She can't. Your car is a soft
you know
riding
what?
vehicle.
You know what?
The truck
You gotta
rides rough.
point the camera up a little bit or scooch down because I can't see your eyes.
What about now?
When did she move into the shelter?
November.
November?
Excuse me. This is not wait a minute. Hold it. Ma'am. This isn't a game show where you confer with your partner on what the answer is. He's testifying.
Prior to winter, Your Honor.
What's that?
Prior to winter. Somewhere prior to winter.
Well, winter has probably 3 months, or fall has 3 months. I mean, there's 12 of the year. So when did she move in?
I don't remember.
I moved in the 1st of November.
Ma'am, I'm not talking to you. You wanted to present this witness, so we are. I'm listening to him. You don't know when she moved in.
Not the exact time, no.
You don't even know do you know what month she moved in?
No. Being a truck driver,
Do you know what
you're
year?
very so busy.
Do you know what year she moved in?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. Last year. No, winter.
Yeah, excuse me.
The end of last year,
Yeah.
before winter.
You can't give an answer without her consulting with her, can you? Because you don't really
I'm not
remember.
going by her. I'm
Oh,
sticking
man.
with what I told you
Okay.
to begin with, prior to winter.
All right.
I don't know what month it was.
So you're a truck driver. What, you drive all over the country?
I used to, now I'm local. I'm home.
I'm not talking about that. Well, at the time she moved in, were you driving all over the country?
Oh, yes, the whole Atlas, Your Honor. The whole Atlas.
Uh-huh. Yes. Were you driving all over the country a year before she moved in?
Yes.
Were you driving all over the country 2 years before she moved into the shelter?
Yes.
Were you driving all over the country 3 years before she moved into the shelter?
Last 20 years, Your Honor.
Okay. But I'm only talking about the last 4 when she made this list. So you're telling me, I'm not trying to put any words in your mouth. Are you saying that between you driving all over the country for the last 4 of the 20 years, that you kept track of what pencils she used in her adult coloring book?
No, but I watched her do it. Every time we
Okay.
came to home
Well,
time,
what does
Your Honor,
that mean? When you say you watched her do it, what does that mean? I mean, does that mean you watched her do it, or you're looking over her shoulder as she's doing it and you can actually take note of what she's doing?
Your Honor, when we came home off the road for our home time break, she would take the pencils.
No, wait, no, hold it. You're not answering my question. When you say that you took note or you watched her do it, I can watch somebody. Listen, I go to the karaoke bar, right? I watch people sing all the time, but I can't tell you who's singing what song accurately because I'm not necessarily watching the screen to see if they're singing the right words. You understand what I'm saying? You can
Your
watch
answer is
somebody.
no. I didn't take down each color in the name of it. No.
Okay, all right. So I'm trying to understand. You're watching her from a distance.
Next seat over, driver's seat, passenger seat.
Okay, so you're driving and you're watching her do this.
No, we're sitting still.
Okay. Okay. So basically, all you can testify to is you've seen her take inventory before, but you can't actually vouch for the accuracy of the list as being accurate at the time she moved into the shelter.
No, I cannot.
Okay, well, that's all right. And you understand that she's claiming that items are missing or even stolen.
Yes.
So if nobody can vouch for the accuracy of the inventory going in, it's kind of hard to do it going out as well, right?
If she wouldn't have taken the
She's-
stuff out of the room,
She's going to get away with it, Liz.
I know it. She's going to get away with it.
Take from a secured room and put it down in the basement with thieves in the house. That's all I got to say.
No, you didn't answer my question.
I thought I did. I did not specifically take down the names and how many pencils were, what color they were. I watched her do it. We'd shut down the end of the day. She's very particular about these pencils.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask this question. and maybe you can help me out here. If she's that particular about the pencils, why, when she was over there on February 21st and you're out in the parking lot or wherever the street, because they didn't, there was the agreement was that you weren't going to go inside, correct?
Right, no further than the city park, a city sidewalk.
Got it. Does it strike you as odd that if she's so particular and enamored, these pencils are that seriously important to her, don't you think that she would have looked in the box, before leaving
Your
to
Honor,
make sure that they were there?
Your Honor, they weren't in boxes.
They were in
They
bags,
were thrown in bags,
garbage bags.
and they were poking through the bags, falling to the ground.
I was picking pencils up out of the front
Okay,
yard.
law says you can't touch a tenant's stuff. She kept it from us. when
So there
she
were,
did it.
so wait a minute. So there were some pencils recovered.
Yes, they're not all stolen.
Okay, well, how do we know what's stolen and what isn't if we don't know what was there going in? You understand what I'm saying?
Because I had this list. I've had this list for 4 or 5 years.
Okay, listen. I'm not even sure look, a store like Myers, they do inventory, right?
Yes.
They have to. Okay. But guess what? At Myers, when they do inventory, there's barcodes, there's computers to keep track of every item in that store. You know what I'm saying? It's a very
Yes.
sophisticated system. And I'm not even sure I trust their inventory list. I've gone to maybe Myers and their inventory claims that they have it in the store, but they don't. Have you been in that kind of situation before?
Place of employment in the past, yes. Stores, the inventory people come in, they got the little hand on the thing, they'll count each item, yes.
Right. But I mean, have you ever gone to a store that has computerized inventory system and it says that they have the item in stock and they don't?
Yes.
Or you know what? I bought a screen door a couple of months ago, back in the winter. And I went to Lowe's, okay? And it wasn't in Genesee County because they closed all of our Lowe's stores down. But I went to Lowe's and bought this screen door. The inventory computer claimed that they didn't have it in stock, but they actually did. So I don't know, it got missed or somehow it got missed. And thank goodness they had it in stock, because when I was going to have it installed, they had to call Pennsylvania or somewhere where this computer is based to, let them know that, yeah, it's actually here, and it was a whole little, thing that they had to do. But I'm saying this is a company that's keeping inventory for a chain store that's nationwide. And I'm saying mistakes are made. So I'm trying to understand in the best way I can how she or you could vouch for what exactly was missing if you got a bag full of pencils. I mean, it would be very difficult.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to say what you had going in and what you have when you leave. If these pencils are so important, and I guess I'm going to ask you that, Ms. Pruitt, why wouldn't you check on what would go through the bag before you left?
Okay. The next door neighbors helped me get the stuff out of the house. I wasn't physically able to carry those bags of stuff out of the house.
No, but where did you load the bags when you got them out of the house?
Into our vehicle, and then we came home.
Trailer and
And what time of the day? What time of the day? It was daytime, correct?
Yes.
So there was daylight out, right?
Yes.
And you were in the privacy of your own vehicle, right?
Yes.
So what stopped you from going through the bag and counting these pencils?
Because I had to get my stuff and get out. I only had 1 hour.
You had an hour. You had an hour. Okay. What else is on the list? I'm seeing pencils and coloring book stuff.
And the damage.
What else is on this? What else is on this list? What else is on here?
Inhaler and my chair.
What's that?
A prescription inhaler and my chair.
office chair.
My office
Okay,
chair.
the
is like a chair in
inhaler-
the back of it.
Is the inhaler for the albuterol?
Yes. It was on the nightstand.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Ms. McCann. What about her inhaler?
I have no idea about no inhaler. I took pictures of everything before we even touched it. Now, if it was an inhaler on a nightstand and the exhibits that I showed to you, it'd still be, but before we touched anything, we took pictures of everything. And far to go
Was-
about the, go ahead, sir. You're right, I'm sorry.
No, you were about to say something. Okay, pictures of the room.
I see a picture of the nightstand, that's, it's on page 5, exhibit, O. And I took a picture just like the nightstand. I opened up the drawer.
Wait. Say it, wait. Say it again. It's page what?
It's page 5, exhibit O.
Okay, when were these pictures taken?
The day that we packed up everything, before we touched
Who-
anything.
Who took
Yeah.
the pictures?
I did. I took them with my phone. And before we
So,
touched,
What day was this taken?
what day was the picture taken? They was taken that the day after she left, which was a Saturday.
And when was that?
Pardon me?
When was
Before she left, her door was shut and locked. Nobody could get inside that room at all. She had a key, we had a key.
What day was that?
That was on a Saturday, the
What month? What date?
December the 4th, 2021.
Okay. So when did you pack up her stuff? And who actually packed it up?
Me and the house aides. And the ladies that she accusing of stealing from her, it was her so-called friends.
This is an inhaler for what? Like asthma?
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't, you're gonna have to help me out here. If you don't have asthma, what good would that kind of an inhaler, what would that do for somebody who doesn't have asthma?
Open up the bronchioles.
Okay, but if you don't have trouble breathing, if you don't have asthma, okay, look, let me give you an example.
Oh,
If somebody told me that somebody stole medical marijuana that they left on a nightstand, I could understand why somebody would steal medical marijuana, because lots of people smoke marijuana. that's something that people would love to steal. If you told me somebody had took somebody's opioids. Yeah, I get why people steal that, because, they want to get high. They sell them on the street. They sell marijuana on the street. I'm trying to understand, why would somebody steal an inhaler if they didn't?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.